Hi, this is Rob Martin and I'm a solution engineer with Robin Systems. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how the Robin hyperconverged Kubernetes platform can be used for empowering any user with self-service capabilities around not only provisioning a new Oracle database, but various lifecycle management operations like dynamically increasing or decreasing compute and or memory capacity for the server on which Oracle is running, dynamically enhancing quality of service by prioritizing I/O utilization for that app, creating snapshots, and then finally thin provisioning clones of the entire application stack. So let's get started. First thing we want to do is log into the Robin console. Okay, the first thing that we get when we log in is the main dashboard. But the first thing I want to do is I want to jump straight into the deployment of my new Oracle database application. So by clicking on the Oracle application in my App Store interface, I'm presented with a dialog that essentially gets rendered from the manifest file or YAML file that is part of that bundle. So the first thing I want to do is I want to name my new application. I'll just call it My Oracle DB. And I've got some defaults here in terms of the amount of compute capacity. I'm going to scale this back. These defaults are specified in the manifest file, but I can always change these anytime I go to deploy a new application. I can change the database name if I'd like. Right here it's defaulted to Robin, and I can see here that it's defaulting my system password to manager1. And I have some placement rules I can define here as well, which are really important with Robin's ability to provide location constraints, node affinity, anti-affinity, data locality, to be able to enforce essentially how and where Robin deploys the various application components across the cluster. I can just take these defaults here as they are and just click Provision Application. So this will take a few minutes. In the meantime, what we can do is go to an existing Oracle application I have out here, and I'd like to demonstrate how we can very easily scale up that application by adding CPU capacity, adding memory capacity, just really simply in a matter of a couple of clicks. So I've got my existing Oracle app that I already have up and running called Oracle DB, and I can, for example, easily add CPU. So I can add, for example, let's just add a core, maybe add a little bit of memory. I can also specify a minimum number of IAPS I want to be able to guarantee for the Oracle application, and I can actually do this on a per volume basis. So in this particular case, the way this bundle has been developed is all of the entire Oracle database is actually being stored on the root file system. But you might alternatively have, a number of different volumes across which you might be spreading all the data files of the Oracle database. So on a volume by volume basis, you can actually specify these minimums and maximums. So I might want to increase the amount of read IOPS which have been guaranteed for this particular application, and perhaps there's some other applications elsewhere in the cluster. I want to be able to allow to grab a certain amount of I/O resource, and I therefore might want to cap the read IOPS and or write IOPS for this particular application. For this demo, I'm just going to leave those as is, and then I just simply click Apply, and it really just takes a matter of a few moments for these changes to take effect. And this can be done dynamically. Okay, and then that operation is complete. So I can close this, and if I click on QoS down here again, I can see my new settings for my rootfs volume for this particular Oracle application. See, it has the newly appointed 3 cores of compute and so forth. Okay, so now let's say, what if I want to create a snapshot of this application? And again, Robin is unique in its ability to snap not just the data at the storage layer, but it snaps the entire stack. So we're able to preserve the entire configuration, whether that's in the form of the amount of compute capacity within the node, or perhaps this might be if this were a rack database, for example, we would preserve In that snapshot, the fact that it, for example, might be a 2-node rack database, each node of which being comprised of a certain certain amount, certain level of compute capacity, memory, etc. So what we'll do then is we'll take our Oracle database, we'll go to the Manage tab. You can see I have an existing snapshot here, but I can create as many snapshots as I want within practical limits, depending on how much storage I have. Okay, but the way I would do that is just simply come in here, create another snapshot. We can optionally provide a name. I'll just take the default. And really, within just a matter of a few seconds, we're able to snap that application, right? In this case, the Oracle database. Okay, so now we have a couple of snapshots available. Now, with these snapshots, I can use these as the bases for clones, right? So I can thin provision Oracle database clones from any one of my snapshots. Okay, so let's take this snapshot here, the one that I had taken a while back, and click Thin Clone. I want to give my new, because again, this is an entirely new application stack to be perhaps shared with another organization within the enterprise. I need to give it a name, right? So in this case, let me call it Oracle DB clone. Okay, it's going to take on all the characteristics in terms of the sizing, etc., as the snapshot from which it's based. Okay, I can of course change any of that, including any of the placement rules. I'm just going to take those defaults and then hit clone. Okay, so the cloning operation is complete. So we click close, and our screen refreshes, and we can see that our newly cloned database, and again, an entirely new standalone application, has been fully provisioned. So let's go back to the see what where we're at with the creation of our new Oracle database that we launched earlier. And what we can do is we can take a look and see where that process is by going to our Copilot jobs screen. Okay, and we can look down here and we can actually see that we're still waiting on the completion of that operation. We can expand that to see that job, that master job, and all of its children. We can expand this and kind of see what an example of some of the things that that transpired during the provisioning of a new application. In this case, of course, the first thing we do is we're going to provision a new pod, a vnode in our terms, and once that's complete, then of course, in the case of Oracle, there's a lot of processing, so to speak, in the form of starting up the instance, etc. And so all of that happens in the form of hook scripts that are included with the bundle, along with the manifest. And so at this point, we're just waiting for the completion of some of that final configuration and setup of the instance and the database and so forth. Okay, so the database creation or new provisioning operation is complete. So if we go back to our dashboard and click on Applications, and we look down here in our Oracle section, we started with one database, which I already had, just for demonstration purposes, so we could show some of the lifecycle management operations and those capabilities. We did some scaling among those operations, but then we created a snapshot from our existing application, and then we created a clone of that application based on the snapshot. We can see here for any clone, we can actually see sort of its lineage, if you will, to understand exactly the origin of that clone, specifically which snapshot. Okay. And so that's that's about it. So basically, what we were able to do here is demonstrate the deployment of a new Oracle database, taking a database and dynamically adding compute and or memory capacity on behalf of that Oracle database application, and subsequently defining some quality of service characteristics. In other words, being able to guarantee that particular Oracle application a minimum number of read IOPS, write IOPS, perhaps capping read and or write IOPS of that particular application. And then we created a snapshot, and from that snapshot we created a thin clone of the application. And again, it's a standalone, completely self-contained new Oracle database, which could then be perhaps shared with another organization for dev, QA purposes, what have you. And then of course we circled back and revisited our initial deployment of our new Oracle database application, and that's about it. So I hope this was helpful, and we thank you for watching.